Hurricane Erin is approaching the Leeward Islands currently as a Category 1 hurricane with winds of 80 miles per hour, gusting to 105, and a pressure of 989 millibars. It is moving west-northwest at 17 miles per hour. Here is the forecast. We expect it will become a Category 2 hurricane around afternoon tomorrow, and then Category 3 12 hours later, and continue that intensification phase, becoming a Category 4 on Sunday and peaking on Monday with winds of 145 miles per hour and slowly weakening there, and will weaken to a Category 3 hurricane in around 5 days as it starts to move further northward, and it will probably miss the Carolinas because of massive dip in the jet stream. Here are the watches and warnings. There's only really watches for the Leeward Islands right now. That's about it. The wind threat is literally the exact same, and it's not even guaranteed. Here is the wind field. The storm is not super large right now. Tropical storm force winds extending, I believe, about 60 to 70 nautical miles, and hurricane force winds even smaller than that, I believe, only like 20 to 30. But it will be larger by the time it gets near the Leeward Islands. That's why tropical storm force winds, there's a watch for that. So that's really it. Here are the chances. 100% of tropical storm in Category 1. It's already reached those. 99% of reaching Category 2. 95% of reaching Category 3. 80% of reaching Category 4. And 15% of reaching Category 5. At landfall, all those chances are very, very low because we're not even sure if it's going to make landfall. Here is the overall danger. We've given the wind threat a 3 because tropical storm force winds could happen, not guaranteed, but could happen in the Leeward Islands. Rainfall threat is really only for North Carolina, and the rainfall is not going to be super significant. Storm surge is not really a problem at all since it's not really going to pass very close to land. And storm size, we're given a 4 because it's not that large, it's not that small either. So that gives the overall danger a 3, which is on the low side of moderate. Here is the other agencies. NHC and Force 13 going 75 miles an hour. We're going with 80 because of its current satellite appearance, which does look very good. You will see that on the GFS, and you saw that earlier on the earlier card. Speaking of the GFS, let's go ahead and move on to that. Here is the GFS forecasting a peak of, I believe, 933 millibars. Yep, and I don't know what the peak winds are, but 933 is definitely a Category 4 hurricane in a storm like this. It's in general a Category 4 for just about anything. H-Wharf forecasting a peak of 927 millibars and pretty much the exact same track, although I will say a very large eye at its peak intensity there, much larger than it currently has. H-Mon is forecasting a pressure in the 930s, 920s, 927 millibars. That's quite a powerful hurricane. And yeah, just weakening again. HAFSA, we're not going to be checking the parents since those have pretty much the exact same. A is forecasting a peak of 931 millibars, 928, my bad. B is forecasting, actually we are going to check the parents since that's going to give us the wind speed. B has the pressure basically right at what it's at right now. And they are forecasting a peak of 931 millibars. The A parent is forecasting winds of 120 knots, which is about 140 miles an hour. And the B parent is forecasting peak of 125 knots, which is about 145 miles an hour. We already looked at the GFS. Here's the ECMWF. They're forecasting a peak of 948 millibars and peak winds of only 85 knots, which is only a Category 2 hurricane, I think. And I can assure you it will be stronger than that. Here's a satellite imagery. You already saw this on one of the cards, but it does look pretty good. It's got cloud tops, high cloud tops at that, over its center. Cloud tops reaching up to about minus 80 degrees. And the storm in general just has been improving on satellite imagery. It had a visible eye earlier. It's right there. You can see it. But that has since been covered over by the high cloud tops. And you can see these outer bands, I think that's its outer bands, are beginning to just now get to the Leeward Islands. I don't really know if there's any like rain or high winds or anything happening over there. There's probably a little bit of rain, but not really super significant. This storm in general is not a big threat to land, it's just going to be strong. But it does look good right now, it is on its way to getting strong. So, that's Erin.